Oof. Underneath the eyes are looking tired, like. But this is me. I ain't hiding. I ain't hiding nothing. I hope everyone's doing well today. I know it's Friday night, which means, well, Friday night in the UK anyway, which means you guys are going out, but it's cold. I've got my hoodie on, and oh, I am not going outside today. It is too cold. So I'm gonna do my brows and then wait for people to come in. And then I can get to it. So today we're talking about isolation. The narcissist isolating you from your friends and your family. So give me some time, just getting these brows together. Then we can talk. I've got a better view today, I think, because I'm on my bed. So you get a proper look at how I do it. I think I'm going to be doing lives on Monday, or if I do a live, it would be on a Monday from now on. Monday evening, after 8ish. That's what I'm looking to do. But yeah, I should just talk to myself like how I usually talk to myself when I'm doing these videos. But I'm just getting ready to go out. I've got to do this makeup. Got to come through with the makeup today, you know? Hi, when you come in, please let me know that you're here. Please say hi so I know who's on the lives. Oh, some of these, I'm not actually ready today. I'm literally so behind. But I would like to, today I wanted to ask you guys as well I want like you guys to tell me, you know, if the narcissist isolated you, and if they did, how it happened, because then I'm going to do obviously my story time and tell you guys how it happened with me. Ugh, come on, it's concealer. So, do you know what, really and truly, I don't even know how it even started. I just know when I was in it, how crazy it was. So, but everyone has their own story, but for me, you know, the ex-narcissist gave me like a couple of £100. I put quite a few £1,000 into moving out. At the time I was living with my mom, and you know, now I feel like I should have spent that money on going out or going traveling. And the stupid thing about it is I said to the narcissist, I said, I've got a couple of grand. What should I do with it? Should I go traveling or should we move in? And obviously the narcissist is going to say we moved in, right? Like to move in together. So the narcissist like, yeah, let's move in. I literally spent a lot of money moving in, and he literally spent like nothing. And then like when it was time to like get the food and all the stuff for the house, he literally spent nothing. Um, if you're in the chat, just come and say hi. I know you're probably thinking, wow, look at her eyes. She looks tired, like, I am tired. But yeah, the narcissist will just use you for money. They'll just use you for anything you got that they don't. And if this narcissist that you're talking to or dealing with, if they, hi Katrina, how are you doing? Thanks for passing through and saying hi. Yeah, today, Katrina, I'm just talking about how the narcissist basically isolates you from friends and family, and just talking about my side of my story until everyone comes in, and then obviously, if you want to, you can talk about how the narcissist isolated you from your friends and your family. So obviously, I was just talking about how we moved to another city. So I'm from London and we moved to Manchester, which is like 4 hours away up north where it's cold, and my family, none of my family live up north. And yeah, that's when the abuse got worse, especially the financial abuse. That's when I really started to feel it. I feel like before that, I didn't really, well, didn't even know I was being abused at all, but being up Manchester, I really started to feel the strain. Oh, I'm so sorry about that, Katrina. I hope you're getting everything back after the narcissist. Katrina, where are you from? I'm just curious to know um, what country do you reside in, and your background. I'm just interested because there's something I want to talk about, but you'd only get it if you live in the UK. Gang stalking. You left 4 years ago. Oh, do you know what? Sanity and peace is, and this is what I was saying to people. You're from Woking. Oh, that's really cool. That's really cool. That's really, really cool. So, did you move to Woking, or are you from Woking? But if you're from England, which I'm really excited about, because I was just talking about, because I've been watching EastEnders lately. Don't know if you've been watching it, Kat. But you had to run abroad. Kids will turn family against me. So sorry, ma'am. That's the thing. So born and bred, Woking. Okay, but you're overseas now. I'm not gonna ask you where you are because obviously confidential. I completely get it. But I'm not sure if you watch Cat Slater. Your name's Cat Slater. That's so sick. So obviously Cat Slater is from EastEnders, and I don't know if you've been watching EastEnders lately. I missed today's because I've been trying to get my kid to sleep, and it's just been crazy. But EastEnders right now. Oh, I've been followed already. What? They flew overseas to find you. The gangs, no, what the gang stalking, right? I know I'm going off topic because this is actually meant to be talking about isolation. But once you actually leave, right, the gang stalking, I felt that for a minute. You know, my ex's mum, the witch, right? She actually followed. I flew, like, I didn't go that far, but I left the area and I went into hiding. And imagine the woman knew where I was, that she even got a job on my road where I do everything. So the woman got a job where I work, and I kept seeing her car, and I was being gang stalked. I'm an individual target too. I'm so sorry to, like, I'm not sure if you watch EastEnders, but right now, there's a a whole storyline talking about domestic violence, and is it Gray Atkins, the solicitor guy? He is, I don't know if it's even a narcissist, a psychopath, whatever he is. He's now trapped the new wife. Someone tried to warn her and said, look, he abuses women, he hates women, like don't, like just don't get involved, right? And she didn't want to listen to it. She's like, oh, you're jealous, you want this, you want that. And now she's married the guy, but she's got a kid with the guy, and the kid is on life support right now. And she ran to quickly to basically what she did, she ran to put somebody else's name on the birth certificate. The abuser went behind her back an hour before she went to register her son's birth certificate, and he registered himself on the birth certificate. So I feel like the main trap really is when you have a kid with the narc, because then you can't go anywhere. So I got a feeling she might have to flee. She might have to do what you did, Kat, and she might just have to literally leave. She might have to, and the thing is, you should never ever look down on. That's what I always say about this. About, I usually talk about the female narcissist. Sometimes men have to leave their kids, and they have to leave their kids for peace and sanity. So who was being beaten? Was it you or your kids or both of you? So, you know, even if you got kids with a narcissist, sometimes you have to run, whether you're female or male. Oh, hi Samantha, how are you doing? Samantha, I'm just talking about. I was talking about isolation, but then Kat came in and was just giving her story about her having to, you know, flee to get peace and sanity. So she had to leave the kids with their father. And I'm just talking about how dangerous it is to actually have kids with these narcissists, especially if they're powerful men. The guy that's I'm talking about, the story I'm talking about is a drama on BBC One called EastEnders, and I'm not sure if you watch it or you know about it, but there's a storyline right now talking about a narcissistic man who's actually trapped his wife with a child. Okay. Do you know what, Kat? When I think about it, that's what brings us so close to the narc. It's we have something similar. Like whether you were neglected as a child or whether you was abused as a child, you and the narcissist have that in common. And that's why we find it so hard to just leave, or so hard to get them out of our mind if they leave. Because it's like, nobody's going to get me the way you get me. Like, no one's going to understand, like, how I feel or what I'm going through. But that trauma bond you know, needs to go, baby. But like I was saying, going back to having a kid, sometimes you're gonna have to run. And I think this lady, she she's trapped, and now she started taking sleeping pills because she wanted to run away with her kid. But now the father's on the birth certificate, and the father is very powerful. Like, this girl, she has no job, she has no house, and he's the breadwinner. So he's the one with the job, the house, he's the perfect looking person. So if she ever tried to get custody of her child, it would never work, because not it would never work, but it would be very tough for her to win, because it's because of how powerful the guy is. And I think, especially with a lot of women, they like, yeah, I want a rich guy, I want this, I want that. But if something like this happened and you have no savings, you have no money, and the guy is very powerful, it's very difficult to run away. You literally, for your peace of mind, you're gonna have to leave everything behind. And sometimes that means even the kids, which, as a woman, that's really sad. Yeah, I don't know. Do you know what? I couldn't. You are so strong, Kat. Seriously, I think you're not giving yourself enough credit. You are so strong, because leaving your kids as a woman. I'm not saying it's any easier as a man, but as a woman, it's tough. The gaslighting. Ugh. I just hope mentally you're in a better space now. I honestly do. And eventually your kids are gonna understand. Eventually your kids are gonna understand why you had to flee, and that has nothing to do with them. That you need to get your mind straight. You know, it's really the stuff. The way they destroy people's lives is so sad. It's actually so sad. You know, and this is what I always talk about. I always say this to. I mainly talk about men. What they should be doing, but I'm not innocent. I was ugly. Look, I understand, Kat, you're taking accountability. I'm not saying that you're innocent. I wasn't innocent either. I've said stuff to the witch narcissistic mother. I've, what? No one's innocent. However, you're reacting to abuse. That's what's going on. You're reacting to abuse. So it's not that you're not innocent, but how are you meant to react when someone's doing something to you? Like, think about it. Like, if someone keeps bullying you, doesn't mean you're going to turn into a bully, but there's going to be a point you're going to react. You're going to push the bully. So it's just something that we go through. But I hope that's the main thing, is your mental health. And I hope wherever you are, you're really working on yourself, and you've got a happy life, honestly, because The way these narcissists destroy people is actually sickening. It makes me sick. It actually makes me angry sometimes, and I have to like pull myself back and just say, right, chill, girl, chill. Because it gets me angry. It seriously does. Like when I think about it. But yeah, the whole EastEnders thing that I'm talking about is, I feel like she might have to leave. She might have to leave her kid behind, and her kid is she had to give birth to a child which was 24 weeks old. Um, so the baby was premature, and the baby is still in hospital now, and she's just taking sleeping pills and stuff because she's trapped. She can't leave. She tried to leave before she was even pregnant, and I don't know what happened. He managed to get her back, and now she's stuck and she's stressed, and she's tried so many ways to leave, and it's really tough. It just, I'm glad they're showing it. And his wife before, they showed his wife before, and he would do some horrendous things to his wife before. So the wife before, Chantel, he like whenever she did something wrong, he would punch her in the stomach. So she had to lie and say she was pregnant just so he would stop punching her in the stomach. Like this, like you can't make it up. BBC One, EastEnders, literally, you will see the domestic abuse on there, and I'm glad they're showing it because it happens, and nobody knew, and she had her mum and her dad in her life, and still, she just wanted to protect him, and I don't know why we do that. We just want to protect these abusers who don't want to protect us, that don't love us, and I don't know why we do it. And yeah, the statistics are. That's why she's giving up now. She's just taking sleeping pills and she's just dealing with it because she knows if I leave, he's going to kill me. If I leave, he's going to literally do something like, and especially he's a solicitor. He gets murderers off, so yeah, it's true. Men are left out a lot. They are. And I don't think there's enough men that are actually like men content creators who are actually out here who are speaking on their behalf, because I truly feel like women are seriously under attack. I feel like it's both. And the thing is, wait, because when I talk to guys, right, about women and stuff, I'm like, that's abuse, right? And they shrug it off and they just move on. And I'm like, guys, do you actually understand that this woman's abusing you? Like, verbally, mentally, like, but they just, men are meant to be strong and boys don't cry and all that kind of stuff. So they kind of just have to suck it up. How we all brought up, it is. I think that's true, because when I talk to certain women who have had their mum and dads in their life, or were not abused or neglected or get treated like princesses or queens or whatever, they those kind of men, they won't even look at that. They will cut them off in a week. They'll be like, okay, he is trying to change me. That's not going to happen. So, and I don't, yeah, it's true. It's how we brought up. It's true. I was brought up to be a people pleaser, to not, to always, you know, clean up after people, and if someone wants something to be done, the music and the TV, I think we all need to take accountability and teach them how to treat each other. Do you know what I was saying the other day? Sometimes it's enablers. And that's what I was saying. It's not just the narcissist that we have to blame. The enablers. Oh, boys will be boys. So what? It's okay for boys to abuse. Or, if it's a girl abusing a guy, her dad wasn't in her life. There's always an excuse. And we enable abuse. And I just don't think it's right at all. I don't think it's right. And I don't think we should be, ashamed or shun at having to leave our kids. Like, some men, and I feel like this happens with a lot of men, is that they're not in the kid's life, and it's not because they're bad parents, they're bad fathers. I just think that the mum's so narcissistic that for his mental sanity, he has to leave and not be a part of that kid's life. And that's what's really annoying, that they put, single mums in the same boat. It's like, no, it should be narcissistic mums and then single mums. Like, it's completely different, because some narcissistic women are, I don't want to get into that. But yeah, men do go through it. I know men that's gone through it, and they just like sweep underneath the rug, like, oh yeah, she's crazy, and that's it. But it's just it's a tough world. It really is, and we have to try and protect ourselves and others as much as we can. But thank you for being in the chat, and thank you for the convo. This is a good Friday night convo. Can't lie to you. But sometimes I just get speechless. I don't even know what to say about the whole situation. I'm just like, it's like, where do you even start with Knox? Where do you even finish? What do you even talk about? There's so much subjects you can talk about. Sometimes I just get stuck. I get stuck on some of these videos sometimes because I'm like, what should I talk about? Because it's a mess. It said in statistics that a woman is killed every 5 days. Those numbers are astonishing. I heard it was like every 3 days or something like that. It was really bad. Yeah, it's really bad. I keep hearing about women moving on, getting married, having kids with somebody else, and that narcissist coming and killing them. There was even a guy that my partner was telling me about, how he had his own family and he was violently stalking his ex, and I don't think anything happened in terms of, like, she's still alive, but yeah, exactly. Women die every day. Women die every day, and when you're going through it, you always think to yourself, how does that woman? Why don't she just leave? And you think to yourself, but that's when you're not aware of it or you're not going through it. Why don't she just leave? Why is she with him? Why is she attracted to him? He's not even good looking. Like, there's so many things that you say when you're not, or you haven't been abused. Like, when you found yourself getting caught up in it, you're just like, how? How did this happen? How did I let this guy come in my life? But I always thought about this. Think about the love bombing stage, though. Think about it. It was like they went into your brain, and it's just demonic. I'm sorry, it's demonic, because they knew what to say, what to do, spending money, flattering you. It was just weird. That the love bombing thing just made you feel like, that's my man, that's my woman, like, that's my future, that's my twin flame. Just to find out it was a fucking demon. Sorry, language. It was a demon. I don't really swear like that. So if you hear me swear, just know that I'm stressed. And thank you for everyone being in the chat and messaging. Cat, stop laughing at me. Oh God, stop laughing at me. It's not funny. It's serious. Why is it always construed that being a people pleaser or just doing good people cause for abuse? It seems weakness. The thing is, there's a difference, right? By being a good person and doing good things, right? I just feel like myself, I didn't have any boundaries. Yeah. You didn't know that demons existed. I didn't know that witches were real. It's real. But going back to the people pleaser thing, there's a difference between doing good things for people and when they're taking a mick, saying, no, you're taking a mick, I'm not doing this anymore. Then there's a difference between you doing something for somebody and you don't want to do it. You don't want, if someone says, like, because this happens a lot with family members, can you help me clean? Can you help me shop? Can you help me this? And before I have my child, I'm rushing there. Can you borrow me money? I don't have the money. I've even borrowed my last £10 to my name to the narcissistic mother-in-law witch. So believe that there was no boundaries. It should have been like, no, I don't have it. I have no money. Like, I'm really, really broke at this point. I've never been, since then, I've never been at that point again. But, I only have £10 to my name. I can't physically give you anything. And I'm still giving and I have nothing to give. Like, just blows my mind. Like, the people pleasing, yeah, that's for me, that's stopped. It was very hard, but because I did some assertive training, that's in my book as well. I'll talk about assertive training, and I've had to literally, just say no, and it's hard. I know, even now, people say you're being selfish, and I'm like, oh, but all the things, and they start bringing up stuff you've done for them. Yeah, but look at all this I bought for you. Look what I've done for you. I say to them, you know what? If you're going to bring up stuff that you've done for me, don't do nothing for me again, please. Because if you're just doing stuff for me to feel guilty when I don't, no. I've even had a family member recently, my book, The Time to Heal is Now. It's on Amazon. I'll leave the link. The Time to Heal is Now. I don't even have it. Do I have it? I'd have it. But I talk about assertive training. That's how it looks. It's on Amazon. I talk about assertive training in this book as well. So I don't want to read it all out because I want you to, I want you to, but I just talk about stuff like I talk about how having to do boundaries on yourself first. Do assertive training on yourself first. So, for example, you say to yourself, I'm going to go to bed at 9 o'clock. Okay? And you go to bed at 9 o'clock. And if you don't, you're crossing your own boundary. You've told yourself you're going to do something and you're not done it. So you're not being true to yourself, not being real to yourself. So if you're not going to respect your own boundaries, how do you expect anybody else to? Or you can say to somebody, I don't answer my phone after 10 o'clock. So if they call at 10:01, I'm not answering. And I did this when I first started dating my partner. I did this. I said to him, I'm not answering my phone after 11 o'clock, I think it was. And I think it was like, he wanted to call me at like 11:10. And he called me the next day and he said, I was going to call you, but you told me that you don't answer your phone, after 11. So I didn't call you. And I thought, shit. I was like, wow, people actually respect your boundaries. Like, but if you don't have any, there's nothing to respect. Like, you can't get upset, if at someone not respecting your boundaries, if you don't have boundaries to even, but assertive training, you see the assertive training, if you use that on the narc, oof, let me tell you something. If you use the assertive training on the narc here, they're going to hate you. They're going to scream at you. They are literally going to scream. I did that before. So, the narcissist wanted to carry on, having a sexual relationship with me. And I said, no, because I know who you are. I know that you're in a relationship with the woman that you cheated on me with. And I'm on my healing journey, so I can't do that. He laughed. He thought it wasn't going to happen. And yeah, he thought it was a joke until I think it was like 3 months of me saying the same thing and standing on my word and saying, nope, nope, nope. I had to change my boundaries. I had to not let anyone in my life now. The thing is, you can let people in your life, but you just got to know when to cut them off. And that's the hard thing about it. Even when I was dating before my current partner, my block list was longer than my contact list. Trust me with that. If someone says something funny, block. Look, I don't have to even tell you why I'm blocking you. I'm just blocking you straight. You think I have time for this? I wasted 10 years with a narc. You think I'm going to waste 2 weeks with you? Mm-mm. And the thing is, the way that you have to come across, people will call you a diva. They will call you a bitch. You think you're too nice. You think you're too pretty. You need to humble yourself. No. It's called boundaries. It's called boundaries. And the narcissist hated it when I did that. He hated it. He said, who the do you think you are? You're not even that nice. I was just like, okay. Anything else you want to say whilst you're here? And he got upset because I wasn't letting nothing touch me. Your opinion, and that's what I think is tough. Goodness of my heart needs to be seriously regulated. Same, even those I loved, it was the only way to get away from it. Listen, tell people no, whether that's a friend, look, and stand on it. Say no and stand on it, and don't bloody change your mind. And I find that it's really hard for like my son. When I say no, you can't play this game. They use flying monkeys too. Oh, you don't understand. I don't even want to get into the flying monkeys. Please, don't make me do it. Please, baby, please. Oh. Right now, I'm having to use a third party to co-parent with my son because I've tried. It got to a point where I've caused so much of a narc injury that he has to get his father to contact me, and I told the father as well, don't talk to me about nonsense. Don't send me stupid videos about nonsense. Like, where's my bloody money for my son, mate? What are you talking about? Me and you're not friends. They know already. I'm not your friend. You guys were never my friend because when I was at home crying, begging God for help because my mind's just messed up, where was you? Who was checking up on me? Nobody. So you lot can keep that. Oh, you know how the narcissist is? You know he's got anger problems. So why are you telling me? That's your son. You go sort that out. That's got nothing to do with me, mate. I've got my own issues. What the hell? And the person I used to be before, the people pleaser, I want to help. I want to call the therapist. I want to go with you. I want to take you. Now that's your business. You got mum and dad. My name's not mum and dad, mate. The hell? I got a kid. And I think a lot of people struggle, people who don't have kids or have kids with the narcissist, they struggle because they end up treating the narcissist like their kid. And I think that's where we go wrong. You know, I treated the narc like my kid. I don't even want to. Sometimes I don't even like talking about it. I'm like, did I really? Is this really my? What is really my life? Really? Like, when you're on your healing journey, right, and you look back, I'm telling you, and journaling was really good. You know, journaling's really, really good because when I look back on my journals after like 6 months, and I was in such a dark place. And I have one activity in my book that I think would really help, and it's a lot of letter writing. And I'm not going to go into it too much because in the book, I don't want to spoil it too much for the people who bought the book, but it talks about, you know, healing. Writing helps you get those negative emotions out. And if you're not a writer, there's certain things that you can do, but if you are a writer, you know, it's amazing. If you're a creative person, you know, you can play the guitar, all that kind of thing. And what I started doing is makeup. I started learning, getting on YouTube videos and learning how to do makeup. And I would sit here at night and I would just create. Like some of the creations I'm going to show you guys, like I spent like 3 hours on my eyes. Like not anymore because ain't nobody got time for that. But just sit down, guys, and create. You know, just think about something you've never done. Go back to your childhood. I used to like skipping, and I was doing the skipping and the hula hooping. Apparently, that makes for the ladies, that makes your waist thin to hula hoop. Well, it hasn't worked for me because I haven't kept it up. I haven't been dedicated, I'm not gonna lie. But there's certain activities that, like, go back to your childhood, like skipping and running and trampolining. You know, they have trampoline parks. Go back to your childhood, literally, and just live life. Do it by yourself, you know, and it will free you. It will help you heal, and you'll realize I don't need anybody. I don't need to date. I don't need a guy. I don't need a woman. You know, I just happy by myself. Childhood was toxic. I feel like I had a covert. There's a lot of covert narcissists that were in my life as a child, and I had a lot of bullying and a lot of toxic things happen to me. However, I don't think it's nearly as bad as, you know, other kids. You know, other kids have to be adopted and get left at grandma's and this person's house. I don't think my life was that bad at all. But you know, bullying brings down your self-esteem. So from a young age, my self-esteem's very low. So for the narcissist to come in and tell me who I am and what I should do, you know, that's just, I feel like it was easy for him basically. It's easy for the narc to come in your life and do that. But I feel like healthy children, especially, and you don't need two parents, just one parent. If one parent tells you all the time, I love you, I'm proud of you no matter what, you know, and they treat you like, they build up your self-esteem as a child. No narcissist, toxic person can come in your life and tell you anything, you know. And especially if you've got a really good, healthy relationship with your parents. I was left at my grandma's because my parents fought, so my adult relationships went the same way. Yeah, yeah, I hear you. I was left at my grandma's house, but that was because um, my mum just, I don't know. I don't know whether she could handle me. Apparently, I was a bad child. Maybe I was just craving for love. I don't know. I don't really remember too much, but yeah, I just knew that I've had to 25 years of therapy. Oof, child, you must have unpacked a lot of issues. You must be in such a better place now. Literally, you must be.